All right, thank you very much. So we're up here. We're 4 women from manufacturing industries. Each of us have a little bit different of a job title. We're going to get to explain a little bit about that for all of you. Very excited to kind of share our careers with you. My name is Melissa Becky. I'm the Vice President of JV Manufacturing. I'll be posting the questions for these lovely ladies. All right, ladies, I'm going to start with you, Taylor. Would you please give us a 5-second marketing on your name, your job title, and your company?
My name is Taylor Smith. I work at PS Energy and I'm a technical sales and marketing director.
All done. Oh,
Do I have to do my whole thing? I just do my whole.
you can shorten it if you like.
Okay, so I am Hope Cicero. I work at a company called Channellock, which makes American-made pliers, and we employ over 350 people. And I'm a project engineer there.
My name is Jenna Gucci. I work at JV Manufacturing with Melissa. I'm a project manager there, and we are a design company.
Come on in. All right, so this is how the next 30 minutes are going to go. I have a few questions I'm going to ask these lovely ladies, and then I'm going to open it up to all of you. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and you can ask your questions as well. So let's first talk about manufacturing. What do you love the most about the manufacturing industry? Jenna?
So I think the thing that I love the most, that I didn't really realize until in the manufacturing industry is how many things in our everyday life that are manufactured in our towns, in your area, all around us. So it's take 100 things in this room that were all manufactured in this area, and I think that's really neat.
Oh, I love people, and I love the fact that we're able to make a difference in everyone's lives, whether you buy the actual product or you live in a house, someone manufactures something that changes your life.
Well, Jenna stole my answers, but I agree. The community of people in the manufacturing industry is unmatched. Everyone's so supportive, and all of these products were made somewhere, and more than likely it was somewhere close to your hometown or made in the USA. That's really cool.
Awesome. So when I first started manufacturing, there were some misconceptions that I had with it. What are some common misconceptions about manufacturing? Come on in, don't worry. Come on and join us. That you can kind of debunk for the student.
Sorry.
I'll go first. You guys, just because new people are walking, it doesn't mean you need to talk. You need to keep your attention up here.
A common misconception in the manufacturing industry is that you have to either work on the plant floor or be an engineer. And that's just not true. You can go into communications, marketing, sales, finance, human resources, and still be a really big part of the industry, but kind of taking your preferred path of education. So I think that that's something in common.
Yep, good answer.
I'd say along Taylor's list, you might think that manufacturing is just standing at a machine all day long. Well, industry is always evolving, so if you enter manufacturing, you might be around robotics a lot. And also, your career path doesn't have to be just at the machine. You could eventually one day grow up to be the VP of operations or the head of HR. It doesn't matter. You have a lot of endless potential.
I completely agree with what both of you said. But another misconception about manufacturing is that our environments are dirty, they aren't gross. You walk into a manufacturing company and it's kind of like you saw in movies certain folks 40 years ago. It's really not like that. A lot of our companies, like Hope mentioned, there's a lot of robots, there's a lot of technology, and generally they're
Excellent. So what is it that your companies do that contributes to the world or to our local area? Jenna, you want to go first?
So like I said before, we are a tool and die company, and on a scale of information for those who don't know what it is. So die is a bunch of components together that feed a sheet of metal through, and it goes into a big stamping press, and it comes out parts. So in that, we create so many different parts. If you look at the light bulbs on the end of a light bulb, you have created parts like that. Like I mentioned before, you can look all around and just see parts that are made in your town.
So because we make tools, we impact in a different way than tool and die. We end up touching anyone's homes. Whether you have an electrician company or a plumber company, or like any skilled trade, or you might decide I want to fix something on my car, on my house myself. We touch everyone. It's a lot of either you get to use our tool or someone uses our tool to help you.
Yeah, and then at PS Energy, we work on industrial furnaces. They can be as big as this room and make aerospace parts, parts for automobiles, and really things that can go into everyday use as well. So it's everywhere.
So thank you for sharing a little bit about manufacturing and your role. Can you tell us how you got into the field and what makes you most interested to stay into this industry? Taylor, you want to go first?
Yes. So when I was a junior in college, I was going to school in Brooklyn, New York, and my dad had told me that he got me an internship at his company for the summer. And I remember on my first day, they told me that I needed to get steel-toed shoes and a hard hat because I was going to be painting yellow lines on the manufacturing plant floor. And I was a marketing major, and I was so angry. I did not want to do that all summer. It seemed dirty and disgusting, and that is not how I wanted to spend my summer. But I ended up doing it anyway. And I remember when I got to the area of the manufacturing plant where they had the furnaces, and I saw the furnace doors open and a huge red hot piece of metal came out, probably as long as the width of this room. And it was so cool. I had never seen anything like that before. So really from there, I just built connections and knew that I had always wanted to take, from that moment, I knew I wanted to take my marketing degree and use it somewhere in the manufacturing industry.
So I first became interested in middle school. We had a technology education class, and that's where I started working with Indians. I ended up in high school with shop classes and doing a thing called robots that's big in our hometown. I had a wood shop accident, so that also propelled me into the manufacturing field. But I'm excited to stay in manufacturing because I love making a difference in people's lives, and I love our product and our company.
I have a little bit of different stories than Taylor. But I went to college, I got my bachelor's degree in management, and I knew that I wanted to do business because I was always interested in that, but I didn't really know what. So I took some more classes on operational excellence, which is like continuous improvement, making things more efficient. And a lot of the things they taught us were related to manufacturing companies. So in that way, I got to combine my business knowledge into manufacturing, and I'm not necessarily out on the shop floor, but I get to see all of the processes and help make them more efficient, which is really good.
Wow, it sounds like you all have 10 years in manufacturing. Would you please describe for us how many years you have in manufacturing and what are some of the things, sorry, I lost my question. How you've grown in those years?
Yes. So I've only been in the manufacturing industry for 2 years. I was in a different industry prior to that. But the way that I have grown just in the last 2 years, I feel like I've accomplished more in the last 2 years than I have maybe in the last 10. But I have been able to kind of see a career path for myself there, and I've been able to do things to better myself and learn more. I have achieved my project management certification, and I'm currently going towards my master's degree to make myself able to do a bunch of different jobs that I don't have the knowledge to do right now. So I kind of have a lot of open area for myself to work in.
I've been in manufacturing for over 2 years full time now, but I interned for the 2 summers before that. So around the same as Jenna. And I guess in the ways that I've grown since being in manufacturing. So I went into manufacturing right out of college. And it was just different trainings I was provided with, whether it was the robotics trainings that I took at Bannock headquarters or just different leadership opportunities that I was provided with. I think there's still endless opportunities to grow.
Yeah, building off of Hope and Jenna, I've been in the industry for 3 years full time, and just like Hope, I was an intern in the industry before that. And really just putting yourself out there to be in a position to grow, just like Jenna said, I'm currently working to get my project management certification, thanks to Jenna. And, you know, just putting yourself out there to get opportunities that can help you grow and kind of propel yourself forward from the current position that you're in is my advice, because I was a marketing director at a company. I was there for about 2 years and I wasn't feeling fulfilled, and I wanted to continue expanding on my knowledge. So that's when I started looking and found another job in technical sales and marketing.
Excellent. So you talked about how great it's going now, and I'm shocked to hear that you've done all this in a small amount of time. But what would you go back and say to your high school self if you could advise that person at that particular point about school, industries, or anything moving on that you've already experienced?
I can go. I think the thing I tell myself is it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to show your true self to people, because if they don't like you for your true self, why are you putting yourself around them? I think the way that you'll grow, whether it's your career or your personal life, is to be real with people, to be honest with them, and then just push yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try new things.
I agree with both, kind of on the same thing. It's just, I would like put myself out there more. I was constantly so nervous and I'm not confident. And I was just intimidated by all the things around me that I didn't really have an idea of where I could go. So I didn't do any of those things. So I think if you put yourself out there and you learn things and those opportunities that you're open to, you're gonna be.
Looking back, I think something that I would want to tell myself, in high school, is to just go for it. There were so many things that I was unsure of if I was qualified or if that was the right path for me. And you really don't know unless you try. So I would say just go for it, because every time that I've done that, I've either come out with success or failed and learned something really important from it.
Well, you make it really great. Make me want to work in manufacturing, actually. Make it sound awesome. So there has to be some challenges though, right? Some maybe being diverse and a woman. Can you describe for us some of those challenges that you may face and give any advice to some of the diversity in the audience and how they can overcome it?
Yeah, so personally, I am the only woman that works at my company. I have always been the only woman at my company. And obviously, we're looking to hire more. However, my first few months were kind of challenging because I felt like I didn't really have the support system that I needed outside of my company. And so I was introduced to WIM, and that was really great for me to kind of build that community. But also, just like Hope said, be honest and be vulnerable. So that's kind of how I built my support system with my current coworkers who are all male, is just being vulnerable and expressing my needs that may be a little bit different than theirs.
I haven't had too many issues in my workplace, but the only thing that's been interesting for me, at least, is building the relationships with a quiet group of coworkers. I'm the only girl in the workplace, and like engineering specifically, we have women in the rest of the companies. But my coworkers are very quiet, and I'm the outgoing social one. So I've had to find ways to meet their needs while also opening them up. So that way, when we talk to vendors or potential hires, it's a little bit more exciting. So the big thing is, again, vulnerability and just being willing to share what's actually going on in your life, because that's how you'll build friendships.
I completely agree on those two things. Going into a workplace or a meeting or anything, when you're the only woman in that room and you're 20+ years younger than those people in that room, it's a very intimidating feeling. So my advice is just to not get so much in your head about it. Be who you are. There's no changing who you are. So if you're honest with people and you're just yourself, things will fall into place. And you're not gonna be friends with everyone, and you're not gonna get along with everyone all the time. But it's try your hardest. Be respectful to people, and it'll. Yeah.
So I'm going to throw the three of you a curveball. For those of you that don't know, WIM is Women in Manufacturing. It's a national-wide organization or community, and they have local chapters. So the four of us actually are on the Western Pennsylvania chapter board. And that's one of the reasons why we're here today, is kind of share the information we have on manufacturing, the career opportunities, and then organizations like WIM. So here's my question. Curveball, ready? How do you use WIM as a resource for your daily career path? Taylor, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I use WIM very frequently. I just in the last 2 weeks, emailed Jenna asking how I can get my project management certification. And I had a phone call with Em over here, just kind of chatting about things that were going on in the workplace, because like I said, I am the only woman. So really having this community of women that are all in the same industry, but in different roles is really empowering, and it makes you feel good knowing that you have people that support you and that you can turn to.
So I don't use it as much as Taylor. Taylor is the reason I'm in Loom, and Taylor is the main person I talk to about Loom. So we've gotten into, actually, I met Taylor through Manufacturing Day. That's how she introduced me to Loom, and that's how I ended up on the panel together. So I think it's been more so we can get into different manufacturers and for the company, and we're able to establish connections for friendships or professional connections that we might need at those schools.
I completely agree. I also don't use it as much as Taylor, but I am. I am going to push myself more because we have an entire community of people that may have gone through similar things that I'm going through, and they can help us prepare for it. Really.
All right, I'm not shy. I reach out whenever I want to.
Which is good. It's excellent to use the resources around us, right? So we talked about diversity and challenges that women face in manufacturing. From your seat and perspective, what is the biggest challenge in manufacturing at the moment that men and women and all groups face? Jenna, you want to go first?
I think a big thing, this really isn't manufacturing specific, I think it's world specific. People are looking, companies are looking for people, and it's hard to find a lot of people. So you guys are here with a bunch of manufacturing companies, and I know you might think I'm younger this, I'm not ready to start looking at a job, but if you make connections with those companies now, and then in 5-10 years, you say, hey, I remember seeing a company in manufacturing day, and I'm interested in that thing. You can call them up and say that, because people are always looking for certain.
I would say the same exact thing as Jenna. I know for us personally, we have issues with people even going up to work. We might hire them, but they don't show up. So the big thing, the big takeaway, always show up for your job when you're hired.
Yeah, I also think that there's a little bit of a skills gap right now. A lot of people our age didn't really want to get into the industry. We kind of were in the age of, college is the way. And there are a lot of people in positions that aren't necessarily in the manufacturing industry, but they could be. So that's kind of my thoughts is, you can be in finance, you can be in resourcing, but bringing that knowledge to the manufacturing industry is so important.
Yeah, excellent. All right, since this is a bigger group, I'm going to cut my questions just a few minutes short so that we can hear from all of you in the audience. So this is how this ball works. I'm going to toss it, you catch it, and you get to ask a question. If you don't ask a question, you get to come up here and present with me. So it'll be super exciting. And I don't look, I just close my eyes and throw. Oh, yes, that was so close.
That's an A for effort.
Yeah. Nope, you got it. Go ahead, stand up and ask our panel of women a question. Hold on, shh. Let's let them. It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be anything.
I promise.
What are the requirements for becoming a manufacturer?
What are the requirements for becoming in manufacturing in the industry?
Ooh, I'll take this one.
Honestly, working hard. I think that that's the only requirement is that you're willing to put in the work and, you show up excited to do your job every day.
I would also say, like, for my company specifically, if you were wanting to get into working production, you have to be 18. So you can start right after high school graduation.
Yes, I agree. You don't necessarily have to have any sort of certification or anything. You can learn it on the job. If you have skills ahead of time, that's great. Those skills. Okay.
Awesome. You're the lucky person who gets to toss it to another person. So, oh, nice spot. It's not volleyball. It's not soccer. right.
What else we do with this?
You just have to ask a question.
Y'all like your jobs?
Oh, good question.
I mean, I love my best.
I think they allow.
Worst, there are things that it's all pages, there's all pages, it's all days, but I love my job.
I'm the same as Jenna. I like how every day is something new and something you can always learn.
I completely agree. I love my job. It's good.
Okay, before, I'm gonna call you Nike, but, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Before Nike throws it, there's no kicking, there's no hitting the ball. It's strictly catching, okay? So Nike, go.
Just go straight up.
All right. Stand up. What's your question?
What?
What's your question?
I don't have a question.
All right, stand up for me. Stand up. What's your name? What's your name? Jade. I know this is really challenging, but I think you're very smart. What is your question? I'm the oldest up here. I'm 41.
Oh,
I'm 25.
yeah, I'm also 25.
All right. James, do you have the ball still?
I got it all.
Okay, I think the question is what kind of, what was it?
What kind of like works you have to do to sorry.
Designing, like engineering?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can answer that one for you. So it's, my company is a little special. So some people in my company only have 2-year degrees. I have a 4-year degree. The main thing is that I think if you went to like a tech school and learned how to draft, so that's like the drawing and the CAD, you could probably enter most workplaces for basic designs. Now, if you want to do something like real specific, like if you wanted to design the next iPhone, you probably need to go to school for that, for the degree. But otherwise, you could probably walk in with just your tech degree.
Yeah.
What about you?
All right, I think we have a question up here. Do you want to bring it up towards the front?
That's not our room. That is not our room. I cannot answer questions.
What's your company? All right, so the question is, what do your companies make?
So my company makes a monitoring system that goes on the big industrial furnaces. Basically says whether the fire that's going into the box to heat the product, whether they're using kind of all the components that we need to heat the product correctly and to reduce their emissions that are going into the fire.
All right, please, let's give some respect to our ladies up front.
So we make forged products. It's all American made at our facilities.
And we make wood dye, like I mentioned before, the dye is what the metal goes through and creates forms. And we create all into that dye and then we just keep it.
How long do you guys plan on here?
No pressure, Jenna.
Thanks for asking from my boss. So to be honest, I don't know. I plan to be there for a long time, but you really never know where opportunities are now or where they're going to be, but I do not plan on leaving.
I'm the same as Jenna. I love my job and I'm really happy in the area that I live in, so I don't plan on leaving.
And I'm the same way. Like Jenna said, you never know what opportunities might come your way, so I would never stray from looking, but I'm very happy where I am and I can see myself working here for a while.
All right, we haven't heard from this side. You want to toss it that way? Nice. Great questions, by the way.
I love this question.
Okay, so the question was, does your job ever get bored or repetitive?
So personally, being in marketing and sales, I get to do something different every day. So today I'm here speaking with you guys. Last week I was in Tennessee visiting some of our customers that have those big furnaces, walking the plant floor, seeing how we can help make them more efficient. And some days I'm just in the office creating educational content for our customers or content for social media like videos and photos. So my day is different every day.
My days are mostly different, but I guess the thing is, let's say the engineer or because I know people that stare at their computers all day long, and I'm not that type of person. So when I have days like that, it's not as exciting as when I'm out on the floor interacting with people. But still, every day is something new, so it's never the same week.
I agree. I get to do things different every day. Obviously, the needs often show me certain aspects of our and other aspects, but overall, I think that
Excellent. Go ahead. You want to toss it? Hey, Taylor, back here. Oh, I love this question. Peanut butter or jelly?
I love peanut butter.
I'm going jelly.
All right, do we have a question here? Yep, good. Toss the ball.
Motivation.
What's your question?
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Dinosaur.
T-Rex.
Mason, come back here. Back here. You disappointed me. All right, go ahead. Everybody, I can't hear that. Remember, I'm old, so.
How much money do you guys need?
Oh, wow.
You should not be out.
It's totally up to you. I'll leave that one if you want to give roundabouts for your.
Well enough money that we're still at the companies that we're at, and we're advocating for you guys to go into manufacturing careers.
Yes. So there's lots of benefits in manufacturing. One is that you could definitely have a good wage and a career in it. Benefits are also another one. Something that is, I think, important for students to learn is you can't just go on the internet and say, oh, if I get an engineering degree, I'm going to make $300,000. Depending on where you live is a huge impact to your income. So that's something to be mindful of. In our state, the cost of living isn't as high as other states. So if you're willing to move to other states, you can always increase that wage. But here, you have to be mindful of looking at wages and opportunities in your area unless you're willing to move. But yes, I agree. I think all of us are doing well. Manufacturing on the shop floors are doing well. And it's definitely worth a career in manufacturing. All right, I think we have time for one more question. Ow! It's okay. All right, ready to wrap it up there. Okay, so the question is there a difference getting hired for a woman than a man?
I don't think so. I do some hiring for our interns for the summer. And I just put out the resumes and I go, okay, who has the qualifications that I like to bring in? And that's kind of how it goes. And there's also different laws in place that they're not supposed to discriminate.
Yeah.
Yes. I definitely say interviewing for anybody is, important to have those skills set themselves. All right, so those are all the questions we have. We really thank everybody for participating. I'm sure you all want their autograph.